Well, initially, it comes as quite a shock initially when you're told, because I had actually no symptoms of having prostate cancer at the time. And what it was, I decided early on, after being told I had prostate cancer, that I wouldn't actually change my life the way it was actually going. It was very hard to come to terms with it, but that was a decision I made and felt at the time was the correct way to approach it. And during that period, I had a lot of discussions with my wife and family and friends. And again, it was very difficult to speak about it initially, because men tend not to like speaking about down there. And it's always taboo, so we don't really speak about it. But I made up my mind, the more I spoke about it, the more I felt comfortable in that area. And I had a lot of discussions with my wife and family, as I said, and friends, and I found them very, very supportive in the problem I had. They're always very sympathetic. But the thing is, it's a lack of knowledge that we actually have on that subject. It's very daunting. Everybody hates this C word, and we all dread it. So I tended to say, right, I'll do a lot of research into this, which I did. I spent a lot of time on the internet. But what I found was that I really wanted to speak to somebody who had the same problem. But I didn't know if that was there or available. So I tended to just discuss it openly. And people say, well, how do you feel? And I would say, well, there's nothing actually wrong with me. I feel fine, I feel great, everything works, it's fantastic. But inside there's something wrong. And you rely so much on other people in a different profession on how to deal with these issues. I become sometimes short-tempered. And that was very awkward at times. Until you speak to your wife and she tells you what she thinks of you, which sometimes isn't very nice, and you tell her how you feel. But together, the more you talk, the more you're more open about it, and discuss things with your friends and family, nobody ridicules you, because really you haven't actually done anything wrong. It's not a crime that you've committed. You haven't done that. You've just been, unfortunately, you've been flagged to say you have got cancer. So you have to deal with it and get on with it. So I can only say to people, go ahead, find out as much as you can about it, speak about it openly. You may feel it embarrassing, maybe others will feel it embarrassing, but get over that, because you've got to joke about it, laugh about it, because at the end of the day you have it and you've got to get on with your life and just get on with it. And that's how I came across it and kind of dealt with it as best I possibly could. I tell people it's when you're having open discussions with them, how they feel, in general, because people come up to you, on a sly, guys come up and say, how did you find out you had cancer? And I said, well, I didn't really. I found it by mistake, by a blood test, and that's how I found out. So you get that sort of, so the mentality of the male person, how he thinks about it. I sincerely hope that in years to come, men are more open and speak about it more. But that is people do come up and say, well, how did you find out? Was there anything wrong? Because normally they say, do you get up in the toilet in the middle of the night and so forth? Nothing like that. So it just shows you how people are. But really, you have to talk about it and laugh about it, because there is funny things and there is some lots of funny things. But you just get up and just get on with it, and that's how I feel about it. Because 1 in 12 men actually have prostate cancer, but more men die with prostate cancer rather than die from it. And it's understanding that difference, because it's quite a slow-growing cancer. And it's just something that us men have got to get on with. And if we've got the problem, deal with it. Don't look back. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just go and get on with life, because life carries on. You're not alone. There's heaps out there.